Good evening and welcome to the International Rett Syndrome Foundation's second annual Raise a Glass for Rett virtual gala. We're coming to you live from Houston, Texas. We have a few friends here with us in the studio and we're so glad you could be with us online as well. Families and friends are gathered across the country and internationally to join us in tonight's program. I'm Cassie Morrell, mom to Kaylee and Kenzie, twin girls with Rett syndrome.
And I'm Steve Wood. I'm a grandfather, better known as Pawpaw, to Kaylee and Kenzie. And we're just one family who has been impacted by Rett syndrome. But tonight you're going to meet many others. Rett syndrome is one of 7,000 rare diseases. Before a family has a child diagnosed, they likely have never heard of Rett syndrome. I know we had not heard of it. But we're all here tonight because someone that we know and someone that we love has been impacted by Rett syndrome. And like us, you want to create a world without Rett syndrome. There will be a day without Rett syndrome, and there will be a day when no child, no family has to suffer from the challenge of Rett syndrome. And then there'll be a day when families don't have to hear this hard, very hard word, there is no treatment and there is no cure. And that's the hardest to hear.
Definitely. Tonight, you'll hear about the incredible work that the International Rett Syndrome Foundation is doing through its mission. You'll hear special musical performances from multi-platinum country artist Clint Black, Grammy Award-winning composer Mateo Messina, and America's Got Talent and American Idol finalist Makayla Phillips. You'll also hear how far we've come towards treatments and a cure. With your support, we can surpass our goal of $250,000, getting us closer to a world without Rett. Every gift, no matter the size, will help. So we'd like to take a minute to thank this evening's 50 sponsors, including our presenting sponsors, Luke and Catherine Kissam, the Mark and Rachel Rohr Family Foundation, and Casting for a Cure.
Yeah.
We are grateful to everyone who has generously given to support all those with Rett syndrome and the International Rett Syndrome Foundation's vision to create a world without Rett.
And now let's hear from my friend and huge supporter, Richard Cook.
Howdy, I'm Richard Cook, President and COO here at Johnson Supply. My team and I are honored to host the second annual Raise a Glass for Rett virtual gala from our office in Houston. We're especially excited to be inspired by stories from the community, hear from the International Rett Syndrome Foundation leadership, and learn about the incredible work that the foundation is doing to accelerate research and empower families. And I'd like to extend a special thank you to Steve Wood and his daughter Cassie Morrell for emceeing this powerful event. We believe Rett syndrome can be cured, but time matters. Before the evening is over, we hope to surpass the goal of $250,000, getting us closer to a world without Rett.
So tonight you can be part of creating a world without Rett, because every single dollar moves us closer to reality. Wherever you are, just take out your mobile device. Hey, if you're in the room, it's okay. Everybody in the room, you can take out your mobile device. It's okay. This is one of those events you can actually have your cell phone in your hand, because now you have the ability in the palm of your hand to contribute tonight. So,
just simply text Rett Gala, all one word, to 41444 to give online. Enter your generous gift amount. Every gift helps. And if you've never given via text, it's just super easy. You just enter 41444 like you're going to text a new number. In the message section, just add Rett Gala, all one word. Press send, and you'll get a message back with a link to give online.
Yeah, even a pawpaw can do it, right? So.
It's easy.
It's
all right.
easy.
Now, we'd like to introduce you to Tim Frank, father to Ella, and part of the leadership team at International Rett Syndrome Foundation.
Thank you, Steve and Cassie. It's good to be here with you guys tonight. It's good to be with all of you. I would especially like to thank Johnson Supply for hosting this year's virtual gala here in Houston, Texas. It's so great to have a small gathering of families and friends with us in the studio, and to have you joining with us at home, wherever you are. We have families joining from all over. And I just want to say, too, that it's an honor to be a part of the International Rett Syndrome Foundation. I, too, am a father to an 11-year-old daughter with with Rett syndrome. Her name is Ella. And IRSF was our family's source of hope. So this is what we get to bring to you, but that's also really exciting. So I was going to share with you that our family has had the opportunity to benefit from the work that IRSF has done. There have been so many other families that have gone before us and have paved the way to make it very different for an individual with Rett syndrome who's diagnosed today than it was before. These last 2 years have been extremely challenging the world over, but they've been very challenging for Rett syndrome families as well. Many services, many opportunities were put on pause or stopped altogether, but our families continued to persevere. Rett syndrome diagnoses continued to be given to families throughout the pandemic. Rett syndrome didn't stop, and neither did we. I'm amazed how hardworking and resilient and passionate our Rett syndrome families are. It's this same incredible spirit and determination that has been at work in our community since the early 80s. One thing that has changed over the last 2 years is that our world has become more virtual. It's become a little smaller, allowing us to come together on one night around the world as a community for one common goal: to create a world without Rett. Be sure to stay with us to the end as we all raise a glass to this vision that we have. Get your drink ready, whatever that is, and if you didn't get your glass in time, I'm so sorry. Please raise whatever you want to join with us and take a photo of your family. We know that there are gatherings all around happening, big and small. Take a picture, post it on social media, and use the hashtag #AllInForRett. Back to you guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Tim. International Rett Syndrome Foundation's mission is critical. We need to continue to advance research towards a cure while helping families thrive. Each day, Rett takes a little more away from our loved ones despite how hard they fight. Without a treatment or a cure, there is no way we'll see improvement. No way that someone can win the fight against Rett.
So tonight, you can make a difference. Your gift will help a child with Rett maybe say their first word, maybe mommy, daddy, or a simple sentence like, I love you, but that one would mean a lot. So give a gift right now. If you've already given, thank you so much. But we're going to ask you, go all in tonight. And please consider an additional gift. It's real simple. Text Rett Gala to 41444 or give online right now. There's a donate button at the top of your screen. But you might want to click the donate button from a different device so that you can continue watching and you don't miss anything. So you can also donate by phone. The International Rett Syndrome Foundation team is standing by to help you make that gift. So you can call the number on the screen. Every gift helps.
We're here tonight because there's currently no treatment or cure for Rett syndrome. If you're a parent or grandparent, you understand the daily challenges. But for those joining us who may not understand what Rett syndrome is, it's like we've asked some families to share photos and videos. Outside of Awareness Month, these may not be what you see on our social media profiles. You see that we love to celebrate every accomplishment our children make, all the things they can do. We share our best moments on social media. We strive for normal as much as possible. But what so many don't see are the daily struggles and the challenges. Even how that one lovely photo on Instagram required 50 takes to get a partial smile. Rett syndrome varies in severity from individual to individual. But one thing is still true. Despite the many good days, Rett syndrome is challenging. It's not the best we want for our children. We want more. And now we'd like to introduce you to Mateo Messina. Mateo is a Grammy Award-winning composer who has written scores for many Oscar Award-winning movies and independent films. He's also a friend of the Schaefer family in the Pacific Northwest who have a daughter, Briar, who has Rett syndrome. Mateo has graciously offered to compose an original score for this next piece, showcasing the challenges of Rett in real life.
Hi, my name is Mateo Messina. I am a composer in Los Angeles, California. I write music for the movies. I'm friends with Ryan and Beret Schaefer, and that's how I came to learn about Rett syndrome. And I'm excited to be a part of the second annual Raise a Glass for Rett Gala. For the film you're about to see, I wrote this piece of music to honor those who go through the challenges and difficulties of Rett every day. And in the end, the piece is about hope. Hope for everyone involved in all of these families. And it's events like this when every one of us comes all in to get us one step closer to a world without Rett.
I want to say thank you to Mateo for that beautiful score to highlight the challenges of Rett. Now, our goal tonight's $250,000, and because of you and because you're all in, we're already, wow. So we're looking at the thermometer right now. We're at 202,623. So maybe they don't need to hear us. I think that's doing okay. So that's it. It's a great job. I mean, right when we're starting, we're at that. So let's just give everybody a hand. Let's give them a hand, if you would. Okay. You know, there's hope. Rett has been reversed in animal models, meaning that a cure is possible. Drug trials are occurring right now. Gene therapy and pharmaceuticals are all in development. You know, the breakthrough's closer now than ever. So, and hope's high, but the need's urgent.
Together, we can make tonight a turning point in the race against time. It takes money, a lot of money, to fund research and treatments. Please be a part of the cure with your generous donation. To tell us more about what IRSF has been doing to create a world without Rett syndrome, we would like to invite you to hear from CEO Melissa Kennedy.
Good evening. Thank you for being with us for our second annual gala. I'd like to thank the families that have helped to bring this event to you, our committee, our sponsors, and all of the families and friends gathered to be a part of this evening. I'm proud of the accomplishments that the International Rett Syndrome Foundation and our legacy foundations have achieved over the past decades to advance science toward a cure while at the same time supporting families. From the very beginning, we've known that it would take families and researchers working together in partnership to accomplish the goal of creating a world without Rett syndrome. We've had many families pioneering efforts in advocacy and fundraising to advance science, and our community owes them a tremendous debt of gratitude. In this last year, since we were together at our first virtual gala, our foundation has created and supported the development of a clinical care and research network called the Rett Syndrome Center of Excellence Network. This group of dedicated professionals, many that you will see tonight, has already begun the important work of becoming clinical trial ready, while at the same time sharing best practices with one another, developing outcome measures, and advising industry partners on clinical trial design. This includes the important work of creating a Rett syndrome registry, which will build upon and supplement the pioneering efforts of the 15-year natural history study. These efforts are critical to support drug development. And just last month alone, our board of directors approved an investment of well over $2 million to several researchers who are advancing exciting research that will support the development of curative therapies. 2021 has been a busy year for us. I'm excited that you have the opportunity to hear more from Dominique Pouchard, our Chief Science Officer, about our research strategy and our plans for the future. And building off of a pandemic year when our educational programming was shifted to virtual and was accessed over 250,000 times, I am thrilled to say that we are planning to gather in person next April at our first national meeting in over 6 years. It will be a gathering of families, physicians, clinicians, researchers, and industry, and we look forward to seeing you there. I'm excited for you to see how far we've come in research and supporting families over nearly 40 years, but I'm even more excited to show you where we're headed. I hope that you enjoy your time at our virtual gala. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Thank you for being a part of this evening and for your generous support, because the only way we will get to a world without Rett is with you by our side. Have a great night.
This is a rare disease, and at that time, relatively newly described in the broadly across the world, even though Dr. Rett initially characterized it in the 60s, but it didn't really become aware until the early 80s. That filtering into training doctors who are not specialists in this, it took a while to do that.
The scientific journey is very, very long. It's slow moving, little steps along the way. There could be big steps that happen, but it's still a lot of work to be done.
They announced the cause of Rett syndrome being in the MECP2 gene defect in Dr. Zogby's work. That was a key point too.
We're fortunate that we're dealing, for the most part, with one major gene responsible for that disease.
Finding the gene was an amazing thing, because we weren't sure that it was something we did that caused Rett syndrome. It just opened up a whole new world of investigation and hope, really.
Adrienne Bird's work was monumental in terms of changing our conception of this disorder. The idea that you could really turn the gene back on and things would get better, it's not just for Rett syndrome that it changed our concept, but it's really for like neurodevelopmental disorders in large. It gave us real hope, obviously, and it gave us an idea of where we want to go. One of the key ways it's grown is with the understanding of the genetic basis, and then with the developments of genetically engineered models. It has brought in a whole bunch of people who are basic and translational scientists. We look at the mice, we can start seeing similar brainwave abnormalities, which is great because now we can design something that does the whole circle. We can develop new therapies and test them preclinically and build in biomarkers that we will be able to study in people and bring it back.
I want to cure probably just as much, if not more, than the next person. I want to cure even if when it comes, it's not able to fully cure Lauren. But I've got to get through today until that happens. And that to me is the huge difference and the huge importance of this particular organization is they provide that support, that information, those connections that get us through today.
It's about funding research to help find a cure or find treatments to make your daughter's life or son's life better. It's about supporting advocacy, the things that's going to help unlock resources. It's about family support. Every family is different and every family needs help in different ways. IRSF is the most important organization that is doing all these different things for families.
I think it's very exciting that the pharma community and the biotech community recognizes Rett syndrome as an area that would be useful to develop therapies. Now you have people coming in who are neuroscientists and molecular biologists. I have seen the progression of there's never been an industry-supported trial, to now there's been multiple industry-supported trials, including now phase 3 trials, and a lot of interest. Early stage, later stage, all along the realm. I think that's extraordinarily exciting.
It's exciting to see how far we've come in research. Since the beginning, our legacy foundations were there, changing the landscape of Rett syndrome research, from discovering the gene that causes Rett to finding that Rett syndrome can be reversed. Earlier, we had a chance to talk with our Chief Science Officer, Dr. Dominique Pichard, about where we are today.
Dr. Pichard, thank you for joining us this evening. I know everyone here in the audience and everybody that's joined us online is really excited to hear about the work that the foundation is doing.
It's a pleasure to be here with you tonight, Steve. Thank you.
Yeah, so I understand that Rett syndrome is personal to you, so tell us why.
Yeah, thanks for asking that. Rett syndrome is personal because my 14-year-old daughter, Catalina, lives with Rett syndrome. And as a physician and a scientist, I watched helplessly as the Rett monster took so much from Catalina. But today, I'm honored and humbled to be trusted in a position to change this world, to change the course of the disease for all the girls and boys with Rett syndrome.
Yeah. Well, I think everyone that's here with us tonight and everyone that has a family member with Rett can certainly identify with that. So what's exciting about the current state of the research right now?
Steve, there's a lot going on. I can tell you when Catalina was diagnosed in 2008, there were no pharmaceutical companies invested in Rett syndrome. But today, Rett syndrome, a rare pediatric onset disorder, has more than 20 companies investing in Rett. Now that's worth raising a glass to. And let's dive a little deeper into this. Acadia has sponsored a phase 3 clinical trial to test the impact of trofinetide in girls and women with Rett syndrome. And if this study demonstrates that the medicine had a benefit that was measurable, then the company will apply to the FDA to make this an FDA-approved treatment in 2022. That is really exciting. And that's not all. Many of us heard the disappointing news that Novartis is not going to move forward with the clinical trial using gene therapy product. But Taysha Gene Therapy is another company that's been rapidly advancing a gene therapy product for Rett syndrome. And they're still planning to start a clinical trial in 2022. And so it's certainly a roller coaster. It's an exhilarating ride with many ups and downs and twists and turns. But that's why I remain focused on the prize, our vision of a world without Rett syndrome. A world where multiple therapeutic options exist specifically for Rett syndrome. A world where a person with Rett may have a cocktail of Rett syndrome specific treatments. A world where a genetic approach may be paired with one or more non-genetic approaches, really to achieve the best improvement in Rett. And a world where our loved ones with Rett syndrome can do more and suffer less.
Wow, that's great to hear. I know that gives a lot of encouragement and hope about the research. So what's needed? What's the foundation's research strategy?
So Steve, our vision is to find treatments and cures for all those who are living with Rett syndrome. And this really requires a diverse portfolio. Our vision is to leave no stone unturned, and this is a marathon, not a sprint. But we're getting closer to the finish line. And this is where we have to roll up our sleeves, stay determined, and not give up. So the International Rett Syndrome Foundation's Scientific Advisory Board is dedicated to helping us create more avenues for treatments and curative options. So we're investing in innovative research all over the world to dramatically expand the pipeline of treatment options, to to provide more shots on goal, because one is never enough, and we know that from every aspect of our life. In every disease, you really start with many, sometimes even thousands of interesting compounds or treatment options to get one FDA-approved therapeutic. So we are and will continue to keep that pipeline full to be able to create our vision. And we don't do this alone. I work with the NIH to inform our research community of grant opportunities that the NIH provides. And recently, many of you in our community, as well as researchers and caregivers, worked with the International Rett Syndrome Foundation to advocate to Congress to include Rett syndrome in the Department of Defense funding opportunity. And it looks like our efforts have been successful. Next year, our researchers will have more opportunities to have critical and innovative research funds outside of just what IRSF does, thanks to the advocacy that we lead. And we can't underestimate how important it is to have infrastructure in place to ultimately test these treatments that we're discovering in the labs. We need to bring them to the Rett community. So IRSF is focused on getting these treatments across the finish line. We've been building the infrastructure to test these treatments and ensure clinical trial success. Through our Center of Excellence network, which we launched this year, the Rett clinics will actively engage in clinical trials and build on the momentum of the natural history study and improve the tools that are used to measure treatment success. Yeah. And most importantly, we're helping families become informed, educated, and ready to be active research partners, because without you, our families, we can't bring these treatments home.
Wow, Dr. Pichard, there's a lot going on, and everyone that's a part of this event tonight, they're all in. There's been a lot of money raised. So I think, let me ask you this, where will the money that's been raised, where will it go? I mean, what it will be used for? 1 minute, if you could just kind of give us a great snapshot of how to be used.
Absolutely. So in order to fulfill our goals of treatments and cures for all individuals with Rett syndrome, we have to invest in multiple areas. So we invest in basic science that leads to both MECP2 directed therapeutics as well as non-MECP2 directed therapeutics so that we can get treatment approaches across the broad spectrum. And one example is we fund basic science, such as Stephen Gray was someone that we funded for 7 years, starting in his early career as a postdoc when he was first started in the gene therapy world, and into his early career having an independent lab. And really, it's his work that has been the base of the Taysha gene therapy clinical trial. Once avenues and potential treatments are discovered, we partner with those researchers and the pharmaceutical companies that have these exciting compounds to test them in the animal models to see if we think they could be effective. And then, as I mentioned, in order to make sure that these potentially promising compounds are tested well, we have to invest in that clinical research. So one key part of this, we've invested in being able to continue access to that critical natural history study that was initiated back in 2003, which Dr. Newell is talking about tonight. But also, we recognize this is such a critical part, and so we are developing a new registry, which we are building out with the Center of Excellence network to make sure that pharmaceutical companies continue to have the best access to clinical data they can have to make sure we have good clinical trials.
Okay.
Steve, here's one final note. Money raised tonight will go to scientific discoveries that will flood our pipeline of treatment options. You are the future of Rett syndrome. You can change the course. Thank you for your trust in us to do the hard work of changing the history of Rett syndrome.
Well, Dr. Pichard, thank you for being with us. I know on behalf of everyone that's here with us at the live event and everybody that's online, we've all learned a lot and we found out a lot about the research, the very important work that's going on. So thank you for being with us this evening.
Steve, thank you for having me here. It's really important for me to be here to share our critical mission.
Thank you, Dr. Pichard.
So every dollar given tonight gets us closer to this world without Rett. So imagine that tonight you can make a difference to a person with Rett syndrome, as you said, this very important word, is just being able to say, I love you to a parent. And that Ellen's waited so long just for those words.
Imagine being able to help someone take their first step toward independence. Imagine someone with Rett syndrome feeding themselves, getting to make choices, and being able to fully participate in the world around them. That's what we're a part of tonight. That's the dream of a day without Rett, and that's what we're investing in.
So our goal tonight's $250,000, and because of your generosity, let's see where we are. Wow, we're at $204,260. I tell you what, let's give a hand. Come on, everybody. Now raise your phone up. It's okay. Raise your phone up. Get the text ready because it takes money. It takes a lot of money. Not just, that's a lot of money, but it even takes more money. So if you've already given, thanks a lot. We appreciate it. But remember, just text Rett Gala to 41444. If you haven't given that a try, give it a try right now. Or give online, or you can donate by phone. And so call the number on the screen, and or you can give online there. So let's hear more from some of our sponsors.
Hi, we're the Moreland family. My name is Vincent. This is Grace, Sophia, and Louisa.
And we are proud to be supporting IRSF in this year's gala.
Hello, we are the Babiars family, and we are proud to support IRSF to create a world without Rett syndrome for my sister Cammie and many others.
Rett syndrome affects every part of a family, not just the child diagnosed, but the parents and the child's siblings. We've invited a few siblings to share what it's like to have a brother or a sister with Rett syndrome.
Oddly enough, I didn't really think it was different. That's all I knew. So it wasn't until I was older, probably like middle or high school, when I actually started to realize that my family was a little bit different than another family.
I also just wish people would know that she feels things the same way we do. And if you're excluding her, or if she doesn't get the same opportunity, she feels the same sadness and regret, and just kind of fear missing out that we all do, except she has to deal with it a lot more than a normal person. And I think that's what makes girls with Rett syndrome especially strong, is that they have to deal with their own emotions without being able to communicate them, and they have to deal with them all the time.
I think I would tell them it's hard to have a brother that has Rett syndrome.
Well, I would explain the struggles that you're gonna have to go through, and the sadness, and just love them and spend time with them.
I think back to all the things Brittany has taught me and all the advocating I've done for her. And again, just that ability to understand where people are coming from. And so she has truly shaped who I am as a person. She's shaped who I am at work.
She's just a very happy, and she's just a very kind little girl, and that even though her disability makes her different, that she still wants to be there with you, and she still wants to have friends, and she still wants to play, She doesn't just want to, she still wants to be active.
Our next guest doesn't need much of an introduction. Selling over 20 million records and earning over 24 gold and platinum awards, Clint Black has left an indelible mark on the music world and is a true icon of country. Clint has also been a longtime supporter of our foundation. He's had the privilege of meeting many families affected by Rett syndrome. He's run public service announcement campaigns and participated in benefit concerts to raise dollars and awareness for Rett syndrome over many years. It's personal for him, and we'll let him tell you why.
Hey, Clint Black here. Happy I could virtually join you tonight on this special occasion. As an uncle of a silent angel, I know all too well how horrible Rett syndrome is and how it impacts a family. So I'm so glad I can help. in my small ways, bringing some music. I've written a lot about the subject of time. They say kids mark time. We lost Courtney, my brother Kevin's daughter, when she was just 16. So that left an indelible mark. All these things conspire to make us think more about where we are on our family tree and who the tree is missing. So I thought I'd sing a little song for you tonight about just exactly that. So we'll cut to me in the studio with Spend My Time. I made good time with the directions I misread. So I'm gonna spend my time like it's going out of style. I'm moving the bottom line farther than a country mile. I still have hills to climb before I hit that wall. No matter how much time I buy, I can never spend it all. Funny thing that time, we're always running out. I'm always losing mine. There's not enough of it about. And though it's always here, it'll always come and go. The days become the years that'll be gone before you know. So I'm gonna spend my time like it's going out of style. And I'll only use what's mine. I've been saving for a while. I still have hills to climb before I hit that wall. I won't go quietly into that dark night. There'll be no more burning daylight. I'll be living in every moment that I'm in. Oh, I'm gonna spend my time like it's going out of style. And I'll only use what's mine. I've been saving for a while. I still have hills to climb before I hit that wall. No matter how much time I buy, I can never spend it all. No matter how much time we buy, we can never spend it all. I'm gonna spend my time. I'm gonna spend my time. Hope to see you soon.
Simply amazing. Thank you, Clint. That song is especially timely, as one of our Gala committee members just lost their little boy to Rett syndrome 2 weeks ago. So we'd like to dedicate tonight's event to all those who've lost a child with Rett syndrome and ask that you say a prayer for them and for all of those living with Rett syndrome tonight.
And this is why it's It's just so urgent to get treatments across the finish line and to keep pressing on for a cure. You know, science takes a long time. And when you have a child with Rett, it really seems like a long time. So, and just to restate what Dr. Pritchard shared, we need, you know, a lot of options so multiple solutions can become FDA approved, you know, treatments. And all those that are living with Rett syndrome will benefit. So let's check where we're currently at. It's going to be big. Let's see where we're at. We're at 206. Okay. So everybody wake up. Let's grab your phone again. 206-512. If you put your phone down, or you know, this is your chance. Let's go all in. Let's keep it up. Let's don't stop now. You can text. You can give online. Or hey, you can call. If you're not into texting, you can call. You can get online. We got folks right here in the audience. I see their phones out right now. And so our team is standing by right there if you want to call it in and can help you make your gift.
Not only has our foundation been leading the way in breakthrough discoveries and research, but we've also come a long way when it comes to family support and resources. Let's hear what families have to say about how it's changed over the years.
At the time, Rett syndrome was not known in this country. We really didn't know what to do at first.
There was no other way to diagnose Rett syndrome other than observe what the child is doing and what they had been doing. That was where the diagnoses were then.
It was so new in the community then that she didn't get the diagnosis until 2003.
It wasn't until we did a full genome sequencing that we found out that she had Rett.
All the research shows girls, so I overlooked it. Madden can't have that because it's only for girls. And the geneticist said, that is what all the literature says. However, I've had two others, boys, that have had this. And it does exist for boys. It's just nowhere to be seen in a Google search engine for right now.
We were just really dumbstruck. I pointedly asked him if Sonia would ever be normal. He basically said no, in a nice way.
Don't expect your daughter to be able to do anything, to live very long. The expectations were just horrible and very devastating.
This is a tough diagnosis, but with appropriate therapies and medication if necessary, she's going to live a long, full, healthy, happy life.
So much has happened in 20 years since the gene. It's pretty amazing.
Our neurologist immediately connected us with the International Rett Syndrome Foundation.
The outreach is much more extensive, many more doctors. There are many more places where anybody interested in Rett syndrome can go now and find information.
I would never say that I was thankful for Rett syndrome, but it has brought good along with the challenges, both in the growth in me and the people that we've been able to meet and the things that we've been able to do.
Our network of friends has grown. They also have children diagnosed with Rett syndrome.
You feel like somebody goes through all the emotions and
they get it.
Yeah, they get it.
IRSF was a driving force for connecting families in person and providing that emotional support, and a driving force in accelerating research.
It is difficult. It is very different than the path you planned on. Being able to take a breath and realize that this isn't the end of the world.
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be hard, but it's gonna be okay, and you're not alone.
Albemarle is proud to continue our 14-year support of the International Rett Syndrome Foundation. Albemarle Foundation is thrilled to be a diamond sponsor of this year's virtual event. We are so happy to be able to help the community get one day closer to a world without Rett. Cheers to a successful event.
So, well, wow, that's a powerful video. You know, the Rett syndrome community, there's a lot of words you can say. They're fierce, they're relentless, they're tough, they're strong, and as you can see, they just don't give up. And I want to say thank you to all those early families that paved so many roads for families like mine. You know, and because of that, we have a different experience because of your hard work and your dedication in the work of this foundation.
When Kenzie and Kaylee were diagnosed with Rett syndrome in 2016, we were devastated, knowing that our beautiful baby girls would face a lifetime of struggles. So we had so many questions, like would they walk, would they talk, would they be able to use their hands, would they suffer with seizures, mostly are there treatments, were we the only family in the world with twins with Rett, and mostly how on earth would we be able to handle this? And fortunately, we connected with IRSF and their family support team, and immediately we were filled with a sense of hope, knowing that this organization was actively and relentlessly pursuing research to deliver treatments and ultimately a cure for Rett. IRSF has given us encouragement, hope, and they've empowered us to move forward in this journey and make a difference for Kenzie, Kaylee, and thousands of others worldwide diagnosed with Rett. Now, let's welcome Tim Frank back to share with you some of the other ways that the International Rett Syndrome Foundation supports families. Tim?
Thanks, Cassie and Steve. You guys have been really troopers, rolling with the punches and being on live TV tonight, a live broadcast. It's new for us, and you guys are doing awesome. We have people all over the world tuning in tonight and hosting their own viewing parties and doing being able to gather and in small and big groups around the country in support of this rare community. This is a rare disease. Next to no one has heard of this disease. And unless you're on this program tonight, you didn't hear it before now either. And it takes all of us working together. You've heard that from Steve and Cassie tonight. You've heard that through the videos. It's been such an honor to meet these families and talk to these families that we're showing you tonight. These families are just the tip of the iceberg. There are thousands of families across the world who need your help, and they are desperate. Working for the foundation, we get to hear every day, we get to hear stories from families all around the world, different countries, and they're looking to our foundation for hope. They're looking to our foundation for the answer. And we have the answer. We just need the support to get it across the finish line. So what you guys are doing tonight, it is super critical. Keep up the gifts. Please continue to do it because it's awesome. What is on the horizon is awesome. What's possible is awesome for our kids. And we just can't say thank you enough. I do also want to just give another shout out live to the Johnson Supply family who's been hosting us tonight here in Houston. Let's give it up for them tonight in our studio. If you guys could be here, you'd see how amazing this is, and they have been so hospitable to us, and so we're super grateful. I wanted to share, too, that you've not only heard us saying that IRSF plays a critical role in advancing science towards treatment and a cure, but we're also supporting families along the way, families like the Morels, families like mine, and families like many that are in the room and around the country. From the very beginning, our foundation knew that it was needed to be focused on cure and care. And we're proud to be able to create a bridge between research and families. Our dual mission is to accelerate research and empower families, and that has never been more critical as we get closer to bringing life-changing treatments to everyone affected by Rett syndrome. As Melissa shared, this year IRSF designated 15 Rett clinics across the country as Rett syndrome centers of excellence. This network of clinics, they've demonstrated expertise in Rett syndrome care, healthcare services that meet our community's unique needs, and active participation in clinical trials as sites for clinical trials to advance treatments and a cure. Not only can someone with a loved one with Rett syndrome receive best-in-class care from Rett experts, but they can also participate in clinical research through these same sites. To get treatments and cures across the finish line, it takes families and clinics working together, and we're honored to work closely with those Rett clinics to provide even better day-to-day care while working toward a cure. I want to take a moment too and just share that you've heard about how desperate, how dumbstruck, how challenged people were when they first got that diagnosis for Rett syndrome. And I want to tell you that our foundation is changing the landscape for these families. 40 years ago, there was very little information about Rett syndrome available. What is happening today for a family that's getting that diagnosis? It's still hard, but it is changing. And we as a foundation are committed to making that even better so that the doctors that they go and visit, they don't actually get to hear there is no treatment, there is no cure. They don't get to hear that we don't have any resources for you, that they get to hear there is hope from day one. And that is what our foundation is committed to providing and working toward. We are so excited not only to providing research and science advancements, but we're also excited to be caring for families. And we're bringing back our family conference in Nashville, Tennessee next year. It's the Ascend Rett Syndrome National Summit, and it's going to be at the Gaylord Opryland Hotel in Nashville, Tennessee, and it's going to be awesome. It's been 6 years since we hosted this conference, and there have been many families that have been diagnosed in that time, and they have not had the privilege of getting to meet other Rett syndrome families, hearing firsthand from Rett syndrome experts, and getting the latest information on research, treatments, and cures. It'll be an exciting time, and we've already seen an overwhelming response from our community. So these are just two ways that we continue to care for families along the way, and it's our honor to walk with them, because this journey is difficult, and this journey is hard, but together we're so much stronger. Our foundation is committed to providing resources and tools for families every step of the way. We're Rett syndrome families too, and we understand what it takes to help families move from desperation and heartache to overcoming. Cassie and Steve, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Tim.
Thank you, Tim. That's so true. There's so many doing their part to help us create a world without Rett syndrome. From the researchers to the clinicians to those raising funds and awareness around the country, every bit helps.
Okay, let's check our progress. I know this is going to look great. We're at 209. Our goal's 250. 209's not 250, okay? So we got a ways to go, but I know everybody's all in. Everybody's all in. Can I tell you, each day with Rett just takes a little more away. There's no getting better without treatments and a cure. And there's no getting better without you joining us to create a world without Rett. A world without suffering, without the pain of Rett. We're literally in a race against time. So we're going to ask of all the family members and everyone that's affected by it, be generous. And together, we can make a difference.
Next up, we'd like to introduce to you Makayla Phillips. It's possible you've seen her before. Makayla's a singer-songwriter from Southern California, and she made her first national TV appearance in America's Got Talent, where she was a semi-finalist. She later competed on seasons 18 and 19 of American Idol, placing her in the top 10. Makayla's powerhouse vocals are incredible, and we're excited to have her as a part of our program. She's met several of our families through her advocacy at previous events.
Hey everyone, I'm Makayla. I wanted to say thank you so much for always having me. I love being a part of this wonderful foundation, and this is Warrior.
This is a story that I've never told. I gotta get this off my chest to let it go. I need to take back the light inside you stole. You're a criminal, and you steal like you're a pro. All the pain and the truth I wear like a battle wound. So ashamed, so confused, I was broken and bruised. But now I'm a warrior. Now I've got thicker skin. I'm a warrior. save your apologies. You're nothing but a liar. I've got shame, I've got scars that I will never show. I'm a survivor in more ways than you know. 'Cause all the pain and the truth I wear like a battle wound. So ashamed, so confused, I'm not broken or bruised. 'Cause now I'm a warrior. Now I've got thicker skin. I'm a warrior. I'm stronger than I've ever been. And my armor is made of steel. You can't get in. I'm a warrior. And you can never hurt me. There's a part of me I can't get back. A little girl grew up too fast. All it took was one time, never be the same. Now I'm taking back my life today. Nothing left that you can say, 'cause you were never gonna take the blame anyway. And now I'm a warrior. Now I've got thicker skin. I'm a warrior. I'm stronger than I've ever been. And my armor is made of steel. You can't get in. I'm a warrior. And you can never hurt me again. You can never hurt me again.
Thank you.
That was inspiring and so wonderfully performed. Thank you, Makayla. Now is the time, as you've heard tonight, our families are desperate for treatment and a cure. They need each of us. If you've given tonight, thank you from all of our family and all of those affected and impacted by Rett syndrome. We're so close to our goal of $250,000. We're currently at $224,455.
What a great event. Yeah, you don't have far.
Yeah. So on behalf of all the individuals and families affected by Rett syndrome, thank you. Thank you for your generous gifts. Thank you for giving us hope for a cure and for a world without Rett.
So that was a big advancement. I mean, we've jumped. We're just a little over 25,000 away. It's not too late. It's not too late to help a child with Rett realize their dream of being able to play with other children. It's really kind of a big one, just to live a life free of seizures. Help them bring their dreams to life. Help fund the critical research so no child has to suffer. So right now, we're getting into the final stretch, so we need you. Text Rett Gala to 41444. You can give online or you can donate by phone. Our teams are standing by.
Okay, so we've covered a lot tonight. We covered a lot of ground, and as challenging as Rett syndrome is, as eager as families are for treatment and a cure, we want to celebrate our children and all that they can do. They work so hard in their therapies, in school, and in every aspect of life. There are many activities that have been adapted to make it possible for those with Rett syndrome to participate. Our families go to great lengths to give our children the world, and we celebrate every milestone, every opportunity along the way. Our children are in there. They express their love deeply. They communicate. They brighten up the world around them, and we want you to see that tonight as well, as we share another perspective of Rett in real life. Good job, Chicky.
she still wants to be there with you, and she still wants to have friends, and she still wants to play, you know. She still wants to be active.
What color is that? Purple.
When you hear her laughing and you see that smile on her face, her belly laugh is just hilarious.
You're doing so good, Havana. We're cruising.
Her laugh, and she teaches you about life.
Her smile just says it all.
Are you talking to that camera?
She has very beautiful eyes. Her laugh, and it just warms my heart.
You go, girls.
Lauren is happy. She's silly.
She just is super loved.
Okay, so let's check our thermometer. Let's see where we are. And just one more time. Wow, 228,145. I just want to say thank everyone for your generosity. We're not finished yet. And, you know, I really hope that you've enjoyed and that you've been moved by this evening's program, because we've heard and saw some fantastic stories from many of our families. And we've heard what the foundation's doing. But before we close, I just want to make this one last opportunity. We're at 225. We're so close. As we said, it takes a lot of money, and research takes a long time. Thank you for your generosity tonight. You've done just a fantastic job. Let's give everybody a hand for what's been done. So, and now's the time has come to grab your glasses.
Cheers to a world without Rett.
I'll raise a glass to improving the lives of people with Rett syndrome and their families.
We're so excited to be a part of a Raise a Glass for Rett. Here's to a world without Rett syndrome. Cheers.
Looking forward to a world without Rett. Looking forward to a brighter future.
Cheers to a world without Rett. Hooray, IRSF.
The cure is in the future, and help for Rett syndrome is the promise we've always believed. It's out there, but we also have to help make it happen.
I can't tell you how excited we are to be participating in this gala. We are all in. We hope you join us in being all in.
Thank you for being a part of this special event and supporting Rett, and we are so thankful to have your support and your energy.
We are so honored to be here tonight with everyone, raising a glass for Rett syndrome in honor of our daughter Kylie and all those families impacted by Rett syndrome every day.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hi, I'm Megan from Kansas, and I just want to thank you for being a part of this virtual gala with us this evening.
Thank you for having this event to raise money for Rett research. We definitely need a cure. Please stay focused. Everybody dig deep.
We're the Schaefer family. We're here for Briar Schaefer, and we're very excited to join all of you and all the children out there for the virtual gala this year. Here's to a world without Rett.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We are so happy to be a part of this gala. Thank you for joining. Your help is our hope. Cheers.
Cheers to a world without Rett.
Well, and now it's your turn. Let's all raise our glasses together. And here's to a world without Rett.
Thank you so much for joining us. Together, we raised $229,000 and $229,000. I can't even talk now.
$229,068. Let's give a toast. Let's give a toast to that. That's very good. Thanks, everyone. What a great job. That's the reason you need to drink tea instead. Yeah, so, all right. Hey, thank you, everyone. Thank you for your generosity and your investments in a world without Rett. Look, it's not over. You can still give. This site's going to be live. It's going to remain live for hours and days, and we're going to get that 250. So, you know, after this ends, you have the opportunity. So thank you, helping to advance the treatments and for a cure for all those with Rett syndrome.
We'd like to thank all our sponsors, our musical guests, Clint Black, Mateo, Messina, Makayla, Phillips, and our Gala committee and all the families and researchers who shared their stories tonight.
Thank you all for going all in for a cure. Good night, and God bless you.